Oh, God. Everybody. So that's black.
The 200 isn't on there, but
You remember that one.
yeah, good to go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Palate Rap. I'm here with my brother, Josh Beckett. My name is Jake Beckett, and today we have a special guest. The doctor's in the house, Dr. Drew Phillips, our assistant winemaker here at Peachy Winery. Welcome to the show, Drew.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. It's kind of crazy. We're trying to get, all 50 states are kind of back open to some degree, but going into Memorial Weekend, it's going to be a Memorial Day weekend like we've never, ever had.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
This is a unique one. Speaking
What
of
do you
unique
do?
things, did we get Zoom bombed?
Yeah, are we Zoom bomb kidsy? Hey,
Oh,
that's
maybe.
awesome.
Who's that? So yeah, here we come on our first 3-day weekend since we are all not allowed to do anything anymore, and everybody's going to the lake.
Keep your barbecues below 10 people.
Keep your barbecue below 10 people, and everybody can have home, have some
Yeah.
wine, and just enjoy.
Absolutely, enjoy some wine. Be nice. Be aware.
Still maintain, still do the right thing, the socially distant, and if we all keep working at it and we keep doing what we're supposed to do, we'll ride through it. We'll get past it.
We will. Yeah. The cool thing is we don't have to take our kids across the country or anything like that. They get their 3-day break from their 60-day break they just got.
I think,
And,
it sounds like, even if you're not working, you're still saving money. And if you're working, you're saving money. Because we can't do anything.
So make the best of it, cue it up,
Yeah.
have some good wine, some good beer, some good spirits, killer margaritas, whatever you Whatever floats your
support.
boat.
I'm gonna do some local takeout this weekend. I'm gonna do some, local wines,
Yeah,
Paso wines.
Yeah, Paso wines are always great. Remember, you're right. Roast one, whatever you got going. We're excited to be here today at 4 o'clock on Friday. I love this new time. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying it also. If you're watching this show rather than a Thursday at midday, this seems more appropriate. It's more fun. So thanks for the people that did chime in and encourage us to do that. Thank you, Gibbsy, for allowing us to do it. It's much more fun. It's nice because I feel like on Thursday, I mean, it's hard enough we're doing a winery not to drink wine every day, and then it's like, let's have a drinking show.
It's a nice way to round out the week.
Yeah, so it's fun to be here. We have a really fun wine today. We're finally getting to the wine that I kept calling Tanat for about 5 episodes in a row. Our Petit Verdot, Ms Behave. I had such a hang up with that. I don't know why.
Well, it's because we did plant Tanat. We had dry farm head prune Tanat for years, and then it didn't take, and we slowly took it out, and so we've always had.
So it was there.
There was Tanat growing on the hills, dry farm, and then now it's in the pipeline. Now it's Petit Syrah now, but we did have Tanat at one time. We did have Tanat here at the Mustang Springs that we just removed this year, but you planted Tanat at Snow, so we have a couple acres. Petit Verdot, sorry. Now I'm doing it.
Dude, I swear we're getting Zoom on.
Right.
We're not? What
No.
is that?
We've got to make an honest effort for the rest of the show to not call Petit Verdot.
To not say
Oh,
Tanat.
man, that's not cool, man.
So yeah, we did have Tanat. We don't have Tanat anymore. We have Petit Verdot estate planted. We removed some. Jake planted some Petit Verdot at Snow. So we are going to have our own estate Petit Verdot still.
But so yeah, getting into that, this wine that we're trying today, I mean, Drew, you were really been a part of this since its birth, being as many years as you've been here now. How many are you? A couple of years?
I'm a couple years now, and this was
Wow,
actually
yeah.
I think one of the first blends that I got to help with
Really?
after I came on board.
Cool. Well, it's fun. It's last week we did the Ms Behave Malbec and this Petit Verdot we also call Ms Behave. It's another one of my dad's paintings, not from Holly Picano that we talked about, who's out of Southeast Florida. I'm not sure who did this one, and Dad isn't here, or did she do
She
it?
did it, and she did a different rendition
Okay.
of the Ms Behave.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is Holly
It's
Picano.
Holly Picano, similar style, same artist. Not quite the same though.
It's totally different.
Totally different, but it is Holly. So yeah, Petit Verdot, 95 Petit Verdot, 3% Cab Franc, 2% Malbec. It is definitely has all those Petit Verdot characteristics you're looking for. It's got those nice, dark, rich fruits. It's got some nice mouthfeel, some kind of dried herbs.
Boysenberries.
Yep, a little of that currant, sage, briar.
It does. It sort of reminds me of walking through a field over at neighbor Donnie's. It has that. I think it's that sagey briarness or that turpentine plant. I don't know if you guys have ever smelled that. When we tried that Santa Margarita Malbec earlier today, it had that. It has that kind of. I think it's sagey. I think my head says turpentine plant. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's a plant that literally smells just like turpentine. It's called blue.
It's okay. That's okay.
Who is that? Is that Susie? Like messing around? That is so weird. I'm getting so sidetracked. Sorry, guys. We're like staring at our little screen. We keep seeing, I don't know, is that like a fisheye of you in a field? What is?
It's Susie, the marketing
That's totally
coordinator.
distracting. Sorry.
Sorry. Technical
But yeah, going back to even the trying, you referenced the wines we were trying earlier. We did, not to leave the Petit Verdot. This is an awesome wine. We have a little bit left at the tasting room, so don't miss it. But we were trying earlier all the next fall shipment, which is kind of fun. We're getting ready to do some bottling in a week after, so the week after next. We're gonna
Yes.
bottle the new Bailey, Vortex, Mustard Creek, Divine Para, Ms Behave wines for the fall shipment, and we were all pretty happy. I mean, it's nice to be able to do the blends in the winter, early spring, bring them back out, the start of summer, get ready for bottle, taste through them, see if you want to play with them at all, change them, tweak them, do whatever you want to do.
One of the cool things too, I think, and it seems like stupid to say, but you would think like, of course they're all different, but they're all really unique. It's always nice and like it's almost like cellar. You can get that palate. People get cellar palate and whatnot, and wines all come from the same winery. Can start to be real similar too, and those seem all really unique and distinct and had their own fun characteristics that set them apart from each other. Not just because it was from one varietal to the next, but all three zins were really different. Bailey's signature, unique flavor and aromas, and I'm stoked to see once you guys do your last little masseuse work with them, what they're gonna end up. And then of course, after they get through their bottle shop and everything, that's always fun. So come October, be excited to get those out, get those to the new club members. It's gonna be rad. You know, one of the cool parts of our wine club now is that we offer our zins and our Rhones and our spring shipment, and then our zins and our Bordeaux and our fall shipment. So this is going to be the zin Bordeaux shipment. So all you 6-bottle club members, you get the good stuff for sure. 4-bottle, I mean, all the members get really great stuff. The 6 bottle is definitely the key, I think, to getting a really cool cross section of our whole winery and what we're doing here. And as it evolves into the 100% estate programs, it's just going to be rad.
And then up to, about the whole winery, the purpose we kind of wanted to bring Drew on is, to introduce you to Drew. And who is Drew?
Yeah.
Why do we have Drew here today, our assistant winemaker? Who are you? Where did you come from? How long have you been at Peachy? Why did you get into wine? Why did you go to school for so many years? Why did you get convicted of a felony? Where are you?
Oh, not convicted.
Perfect. End of story.
Okay, cool. Check that out.
So where'd a brief history. Like, I know you've been at other wineries before, Peachy Canyon. How did you get started? Where did you come from? Your education, whatever.
I grew up in Connecticut, and the last job I had in Connecticut was working at a small wine shop in Darien, Connecticut, called White Bridge Wines. I wish Mickey and Andy was watching right now, because I feel like it'd be really nice for people to shout out and thank him for starting me in this industry. But after some years, I realized that a retail manager's salary didn't quite cut it in the New York City area, and realized I could get a degree and maybe make some more money. And so I went back to school and studied winemaking at Fresno State.
So you moved
So I moved from one coast to
Big
the
jump.
other, big jump. Well, I had family in Monterey for quite some time, and so the Central Coast of California was always kind of like the second home, the vacation spot. And I ended up falling in love with Rhone varieties in particular, and found my way to Paso Robles as a result, and worked for the Riley family over at Prue for quite some time, and got to make quite a bit of zin there. And when the job came open here for an assistant, it seemed right.
Right.
Moving in the direction of doing zins, a lot of zin, kind of first and foremost is like a house trade, but then doing, the dry farm Rhones and touching into the Bordeaux and a little bit of everything that we can do here, and it fit, it worked.
Mm-hmm. So you went from Connecticut wine bottle shop to Fresno State, got a degree in enology in winemaking.
Yeah.
And then just came over and you hooked up with Kevin Riley, who's a friend of all of ours, and Prue Wines, local Paso winery. Was there for a while, and it's good to have Drew on our team, because I know Jake and I look super young still, and we're hip and everything, but Drew's a little bit younger than us, so he keeps us in the loop with all the hip, cool kids.
He goes downtown still.
He goes downtown and goes out when we go home. So we can go out and be like, hey, what's up, So yeah,
It's serendipitous. I have been evolving here at Peachy, and the sales were just now starting to trickle and
Coming
coming
into
online when
fruition.
you came here, and being a Zen house and having, getting to work under Kevin, who understands, or get work with Kevin and his family, and understands Zinfandel. They have some older vineyard within their family on the Genoa side, and then coming back, and now the two of them are here in the spot. And I mean, I guess we're arguably like the Zen house of Paso.
It worked out. Like everything is just presented itself, and it's been really easy for me to say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. At every next step, and Peach King, it sounded like a good idea. So,
We've had some fun. We've had some fun harvests too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much to talk about. When it comes to, I mean, you're gonna have stories for years. Hopefully, you're here.
so you're coming up on this will be harvest number 3.
this will be harvest number 3
Yeah.
here.
Oh, you got 2 great groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interns.
So the interns, yes,
Right.
we always have. We have, wineries. Most wineries bring on anywhere from 1 to 6 or even more interns every year for harvest. And I feel like most wineries do. Bring in some international people from the restaurant industry, people from out of town, locals also for us. We've had a lot of Cal Poly students. When Josh and Gibbsy took off to Australia, they brought back some Aussies with them eventually for another harvest that we're still friends with.
I was talking to
Fun cruise.
Sherman Thatcher yesterday, another winery in the Thatcher family, Sherman Michelle, Thatcher, and Daniel yesterday. One of our, I forget her name, I'm drawing a blank. A friend that was in here, remember her name. Daniel, I think, and they dated for a while. She was an intern maybe 5 years ago here. Went to South, but she's coming back from South Africa, and he was telling me as she's been bouncing the globe doing harvest, and she's going to do this harvest with Pink.
She is?
Yeah, she just landed there, and she's going to do that
That'd be fun.
at her winery.
I know who you're talking about too, and I can't.
I'm drawing a blank
put
on
the
the name
name
of
to
the
the
one,
face.
but
Well, that's cool.
if we could do a harvest episode over the years of all the interns that have come through, it'd be
It'd be fun to keep this. Well, if this doesn't, hopefully this gets some traction and enough people watch it and get some sort of something out of it that makes it worth watching, telling their friends, and we can keep going into harvest because we should. We'll definitely bring in an intern each time, and I mean, it'd be fun to do an after-hours show, live show.
a mid-harvest show. Like, as stuff's dumping, like, hey, it's all going good.
That'd be killer. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Everyone
But,
shouting over the forklifts and the farms and the shaker tables and the.
And then not to mention the fact that, if we have Aussies, can't understand unless they start drinking it from the countries. It sounds like a bunch of dolphins in the room. I used to always tell them that. They'd look at me and be like, Jake, you have no idea what I'm saying. I'm like, no. And we're both speaking English. Isn't this bizarre? So interns are fun. But, yeah.
So at the wine shop, you had to have been able to dabble in a bunch of wines, probably a lot of French wines, being on the East Coast and stuff. Is there anything in particular that got you hooked? Producer, varietal, you said Rhones, but I mean, you're trying to wines. What got you to where man, this is something that I kind of dig. I know you like golf, but you obviously realized you weren't going to be a pro golfer, maybe, and you thought maybe wine.
Mine's working out a little bit better.
Right.
There's a couple bottles in particular. Gosh, I wish I could. I feel really bad being in Paso where it's Rhone centric and we do stuff like, Rhone Rangers and Hospice de Rhone, and nothing is with the wine of the year. One of the years that I was working in a wine shop as a retailer was a Chateauneuf de Pape, and I mean, Connecticut's a small state. We maybe got like 2 cases for the whole state of this #1 wine of the year. And one of our regular customers bought 6 bottles and then handed me one. I was like, just try this. And I did, and it blew my mind. And it was a phenomenal bottle of wine. And that kind of like hinted to me that maybe Grenache is something you should be interested in, Drew. And then Schaefer Relentless was one of my go-to bottles. And that's like Schaefer, I think it's Petite Syrah. I don't know. I might be wrong, but it's not your regular Schaefer Howe Mountain Cab.
Right.
And those two things kind of turned me on, and I found more. When I moved to Monterey, where my parents lived, kind of on my way out to California to go to school, I found some part-time work working in a little wine shop in Monterey. And the owner, this lady Nancy, was a huge fan of Rones from Paso. And I mean, we had half the big names in town represented in the shop. And it was a California wine shop, so there was a tasting bar. And so I got to go through and taste all these like Grenache and Syrah-based blends from Paso. And I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing.
I can do this.
Yeah.
It's not just grape juice.
Yeah.
There's something going on there.
And it doesn't just have to come from
France.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be,
Right.
$228 bottle.
Right.
It can be like a $35, $40 bottle from California
That's kick ass.
and kick some serious butt.
Yeah.
We can cuss on the show.
We can?
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm not going to start.
All right.
So yeah, we stoked to have Petit Verdot in our portfolio. Ms Behave Petit Verdot. And at one time, I think we just, before we get out of the Ms Behave series, Jake had come up with this whole, I think he had a whole portfolio, almost a whole new brand, a whole new winery under the Ms Behave. We could have had Miss.
Oh yeah, misbehave, misdemeanor,
Yeah.
misinterpreted.
Right. We were going on and on. We were going to, it sounded like a good idea. And we were like, okay, wait a
And then Robin was the master blend.
Right.
Yeah. We decided that wasn't the route we want to go
Right.
anymore. But it's fun to think about. We do that. We go down rabbit
minute. We go down rabbit holes every day.
Mm-hmm.
About, I can look out the window behind us. That was supposed to be all staked out and planted for Syrah, but
Couldn't keep up with the weeds.
yeah, it's probably not going to happen again but maybe next winter we'll get there. It's just like,
But you can't have it all.
No,
I mean, it's just
not
like,
one
if you
time.
get it all at once, then it's like, now what do you do? So we got to keep picking that in and shit. And we're in good trajectory. I think this winery has been evolving for 32 years now, and it's still evolving in really positive ways and finding out what we do best. And I think now we're so focused on what do we do best? What can well, that goes back to the grapes and the vine. It's like, well, what performs best? It can't just be what we like the best. It's what really grows best here. If we can't do all 5 varietals in a Bordeaux style blend, let's do the 3 that work great.
right.
And that's where Parsamper is coming in and how it's going to evolve into that 100% estate. And I think we're growing up still and maturing, as a winery and as a crew that understands like what we said 20 years ago. We were saying, it's only as good as the grapes that you get, but we still, it takes a while to truly practice what you preach.
Really practice what you preach, exactly. Like, okay, so then why are we doing all these other things?
Yeah, why did we plant that then? I don't know. It sounded good. I tasted one, I liked it, but that doesn't grow here.
Right.
Oh yeah, it does. It seems simple, but it takes a while.
One of the cooler things about just this greater Paso Robles area to me is how many different varieties people have had success with, from some bigger guys doing a lot of Bordeaux to some smaller guys with waiting lists for their waiting list doing runs to Zin that goes back to the Ducey family in like the early 1900s. And I feel like there's an aspect of it where everyone's still sort of figuring it out.
Still dabbling in
And
stuff.
when you think about like the old world versus the new world thing, a lot of southern France was planted before the Common Era.
Yeah.
And so they've had literally millennia to figure it out.
Yeah.
And we're like,
people are going, wait, yeah, it grows well and it makes wine, but does it make really stellar, high-end, good wine?
Yeah.
Let's try some other things, and that's why we're slowly pulling stuff out and going, hey, wait a minute, we should do this, maybe this or this, and all over town, east, west, north, south. I mean, obviously they're all different, but usually everybody's stuff's going in and stuff's coming out
All the time. It's
all the
constant
time.
change.
It's constant.
You see this guy down here playing?
It's
He's
huge.
upstate the whole thing
The whole-
immediately.
yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, I don't know what he's planting. I'll have to ask him. So let's see what's up. It's the next guy, but I have no idea. He's just getting into this. But we still have the newbies coming in that haven't even touched it before that are just like, I'm planting.
I'm doing it.
It's a crazy industry.
What are you gonna do with it? I don't know.
It'd be like me.
I'm doing
It's like
it.
me opening up a dentist office because I like teeth. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's taken us a lifetime, you know.
We're still trying to figure out. What are we doing this here? Kids.
So I think I feel like we have a pretty good objective view now of our ranches, and we're not hanging on the blocks just because they're nostalgic and old.
No.
They're not. And it's not because they're not producing enough. It's because, you know what, that's not really.
Quality's not
that's
there.
that doesn't embrace the terroir of this area completely and turn into the best wine that we can make, you know? So it's not helping us by growing something that doesn't crush it on its own sort of thing.
Let's talk golf or golf courses.
Yeah.
Our favorite wine
I can't wait
district
till we
in
get to
Memorial Day
play
weekend.
together.
Is the Austin Hope tournament that even happened this year? Or is
I don't know. I'll have to
is
text
COVID
Austin
killed that?
and find out.
Austin isn't scared. Dude, he's not scared.
No, he's not scared. You guys can ever try any of the Triana, Liberty School, Austin Hope, Troublemaker wines?
You
They're
might
stellar.
actually be a troublemaker.
Austin is no fear. Jake and I grew up with Austin, another local wine guy, and he has an annual golf tournament that's unreal. But yeah, we should play in
Have
it.
you played it?
Yeah,
And then what?
I took a sick day last year.
So have you played coast to coast golf courses? Or is
You've
this
played
something
probably more stellar courses than Jake and I.
I mean, we lived in Monterey for a while, so I played a little bit around the whole Pebble Beach area.
But so is Pebble Beach is what is it's so I've played Morro Bay, the poor man's Pebble Beach. Is it how does it compare? I mean, really, is it that much
this
more
plays a
special?
little bit slower, but yeah, absolutely. It's a bucket list course for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
there's literally nothing that compares to setting up on number 7 and hitting down that drop, like a 90-yard shot that might play 110 yards if the wind's blowing in off the ocean, or might play 90 yards and there's just a little nugget of a green there.
That's it. So simple and so hard.
Oh yeah.
Almost impossible.
So-
is that your favorite course, or do you have a favorite course?
Or do you have a favorite
So-
course in Slow County?
My favorite course
Yeah.
locally is definitely the Paso Golf Club.
I like that course too.
It's really well maintained. I don't know what the deal is with water, but it's in the city, I think. I think that's the deal is they get city water they can irrigate with. And it's always green. It never gets like burnt out like some of the places out 46 or down in like the Tascadero or anything. Stays in great shape. It's the first
that
9.
fourth hole, that par 3 over that canyon, that little nugget right there.
Right.
That's a fun hole. I like
It
that
is.
one. And you can knock it on that green and put it off of that green on
Yeah.
accident. it's a crazy green. I've done that.
So, yeah, I've done both those things.
So Paso Country Club, that's the one.
Yeah, Paso Golf was great. I like Morro Bay a lot. That's a fun track.
That breaks my wrist.
It's hard.
Do that grass.
Hunter is
Pretty killer.
long.
Hunter's tough.
I get tired.
Those fairways are like at a
Yeah.
45-degree pitch, and
Yeah.
the ball's always above your feet or below your feet.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It's almost better if you suck to play that.
Chalk Mountain's pretty cool.
yeah. You know what? I'm really sad that Dairy Creek is in
I
18
know.
anymore. Dairy Creek was probably
That back 9 was tough,
Yeah.
but it was cool.
You get out there by the old dairy, you just go back and forth across that pond for like 2 holes, and I like that.
Have you been to like a Augusta?
I've never, no. But I've walked Cypress. You're talking about Alistair McKenzie design courses, which is cool. I haven't played it because you have to like know somebody. It's sort of, if you're like, can I play on that course? They're basically like, no, because you don't know any members, so you're good.
Yeah, that's quite the club, huh?
So I grew up playing this little, it stinks. Like golf course casualties. This little place in Carmel Valley called Rancho Pinata. And my grandfather was a member there, and my dad was a member there, and they had these like 2 courses east and west, but the entrance was right next to a church, and they had this sign at the end of the shared driveway with an arrow pointing to the rancho that said play, and an arrow pointing to the church that said pray. It was the coolest thing ever.
Are you going to be playing anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna play this weekend. It's
You
Memorial
are.
Day
So it's Memorial Day weekend.
Uh,
Now, are you do you like to, I know some people, everybody plays different. Do you like to have a beer when you play, or what do you plan on having after you play for Memorial Day
Or
weekend?
do you, what do you have when you play, and then what is the wine of the Memorial Day weekend? Yeah.
Well, the guys I play with and I do this thing called the beer hole on par threes. And the deal is, whoever ends up the furthest from the flagstick has to finish a beer before we tee off on the next hole. And usually the guy who loses the first beer hole continues to lose the beer holes. Which, but so,
Rightfully so.
I mean, it's tough for me to tee off in the morning without a big old Bloody Mary. And then on the course, you can't bring glass bottles on the course.
No, but when you're after, you're
But
gonna be barbecuing by the pool.
barbecuing, probably, depending on what, but I mean, my cellar these days is almost all Zinfandel, so
I know.
open a lot of Zin. I like, if I'm doing steaks, I'll like big meaty Syrahs.
Yeah, that sounds good.
The 18 GSM is a great red summer wine. I did it. I have one the other day.
It's so juicy. Yeah.
For Peachy Canyon, yeah. But
So are you gonna have this weekend?
I don't know. I was thinking that, but I don't know if I have any. I think we're all out. We don't
Yeah, some.
I know. Exactly. I
think I might grab some. That's my other half and mine's favorite right now.
Yeah,
For sure. It's
there
just
was
so
something else.
nice and pleasant to have. I think that's a poolside red.
It is.
GSM.
It's killer.
Yeah, and it's poolside. I think for this Memorial Day weekend, what I'm gonna have is our classic Peachy Canyon Rosé.
Yeah.
I get
It's gonna be, and it's coming hot next week. Make sure you got plenty of rosé.
Yeah, and we're gonna swim, and then we're gonna roll into enchiladas and casadores, actually. But wine-wise, rosé, man, ours, Peachy's, the stuff you guys got coming out of here is really nice. We had a friend come over and visit, and we introduced her to it the other day. And she was surprised, didn't realize that we made those wines, for the Zin house. But then try that rosé, and like, this is crisp and really tasty, and has a nice finish. And people think, we make a Zin rosé, like, oh, that's white Zin. It's not white Zin. It is, but it is not.
It's not like that sweet, clean.
Not at all.
We're not
No.
Boone's Farm.
No, I can have
Bones
food.
dry,
It's a meal
Twist,
rosé.
acidic.
Yeah. So, back to this.
What's next week?
What is next week? Are we on rosé again?
Here.
We are. We're rolling into some rosé again. Next week is going to be the 29th, and we will be doing the 2018 rosé. Yeah, I guess we didn't really talk. We're assuming everybody knows Petit Verdot and where it comes from and what it is.
Well, we talked about a little
Which
bit of
group
the
it falls
flavor.
into? Is it a South American? Is it a French? Is it a Bordeaux? Is it a Rhone? Is it, not that you guys don't know, but there might be people watching that don't know.
When you're at school, what did you have to go through the regions and varietals and?
Yeah, one of our first classes was pretty much the equivalent of like the introduction WSET like Master of Wine course. And it's just about regions and varieties and laws.
Right.
Lots about laws.
All the countries have different laws. If you ever want to get sucked into a vortex of wow, that makes it really hard.
Yeah.
Go look at
We got
the
pretty
laws of Burgundy compared to the laws of California compared to the laws of Bordeaux to the Rhone. You'll be it's mind-boggling.
Answer my question. It's a Bordeaux varietal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but so you have to do that.
Yeah.
And
That's
tasting.
cool though, because it probably starts to command like a certain sense of respect for the industry and the wine when you realize all the rules and all this, just how many variables there are, and then it just kind of, you start to take it more seriously when you realize how much heritage there is that comes with the world of wine.
Yeah.
It's just been around for a long time. I mean, it's literally thousands of years old, and it's one of the cool things that we as humans get to do and enjoy. Yeah. So cool. Well, Ms Behave Petit Verdot. I'm not sure how we are on time. Just a quick little reminder: we are still offering free shipping on any orders over $200. We still have the 4-pack available, where we're doing 20% off. Is this the new one? Susie, this is the new one.
For June.
For June. Okay.
Ah.
We're doing,
Week after next.
So we're gonna, for the Divine, Concrete Blanc, Odd One, and Incredible Red, we're offering for 20% off. If you double this order, you will not only get the 20% off, but you'll be able to, you'll qualify for the free shipping because it's over $200.
And that's the odd one, our GSM. Yeah, go online again. We got the odd one.
It's 17 Odd One. Yeah,
Damn, that
2017
line is
Odd
off
One,
the hook.
and the 2017 Divine. And then you get the Concrete Incredible Red, pull the Incredible Red out for your barbecue and your friends, and just a great everyday wine. And you end up with these other just really amazing wines. The Concrete Blanc that is partially fermented in our concrete tanks. Really nice, crisp tasting
White
Viognier.
wine, yeah.
Yeah, white wine. And yeah, you double it. Not only do you get 20% off, but you get free shipping. So it's really a killer deal that we're offering. You guys will be able to see it on our website. Yeah, and what else? What time is it?
Rosé next week.
We're good. So we're wrapping it up. Drew, it's tool time. I know. Khakis in his shirt. You guys know that, right? Everybody watches TV sometimes. Thanks for being part of Peachy Canyon. Thanks for coming on the show. I know not everyone likes to sit in front of cameras, but
Thanks for having me. And for
Happy
having me.
Memorial Day weekend.
yeah.
Be safe.
Don't
Be
forget.
healthy. Tasting room. So we're talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So get ready.
Woo,
Keep
game
an eye out.
on.
Next Friday, the
29th.
29th, we are hoping to be by reservation, tasting room open.
Yeah,
That's
us
kind of
and,
our
and,
go-to.
and a handful of our amigos around us. So check it out. You guys get online and sort of educate yourselves on how to do it. We're going to be doing reserved tastings only as we can. It'll be outside. We've got a really cool setup. We met today and came with our master plan so that we can ensure everybody's safety
Safe,
and
healthy,
make sure that
yeah.
everybody stays healthy and come out and sit in the sun. It's really beautiful. The tasting room and all the vineyards around it and all the tasting rooms around it are just pristine. Nobody's been there. I mean, so, if you get a chance, please come out.
and enjoy it.
And we would enjoy, very small, limited amounts. It will be reservation only, like I said. And we're going to be pouring, pre-pouring. So we'll be bringing little carafes out and we're going to do, everything we can to ensure
Everything
safety and
by
still
the
deliver good
book,
wine.
to the T,
But
all the
do it.
distance
Get
and
out.
everything. Yeah,
Go
enjoy.
support your local tasting rooms if you're here locally or anywhere you're at. Restaurants have recently opened at limited occupancy. All retail is open, but just remember to mind your P's and Q's. Don't sneeze on people. For the love of God, wear a mask if you're not. Just do it. Come on, stop it.
Be safe, be healthy, drink Paso, and especially drink Peachy Canyon.
See ya.
Cheers. Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Cha-ching.